Moot morning, moot morning, moot morning, moot morning.
Well, hello again. This is another installment of what we are fondly referring to as Moot Morning. And I am here again with our assistant coach, Natsumi Covey. There's Natsumi. And we have our special guest today, which she is a former mooter, extremely successful on the team, now practicing in Houston, Texas. And her name is Sophia George. Hi, Sophia.
Hi.
And good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
So, Sophia, thanks for being here this morning. As you know, these recordings are primarily for the benefit of those students that are going to be 2Ls this year at St. Mary's and that may be on the fence or may have questions about whether or not they should try out for the team. And so I think it's really good for them to kind of get a view of the team from someone that's been through the process and has come out the other side. And so let's just start with why you actually tried out for the team in the first place. What was it that motivated you to try out for the Moot Court team?
So first, for me, I wasn't sure if I would even try out. I did 1L Moot Court. I loved it, but I was scared that I wouldn't have the time to commit to the program, just because when you're in law school, you're taking a full load of classes, you might be working part-time, you decide to do journal or scholar, you're going to be taking a lot of time writing those comments and doing all those edits. But I had a lot of people talk to me and ask me if I was going to try out because they thought that I might be a good fit. So I remember the signups were up for like a week. I never signed up. And the night before the interview started, I was at my friend's house, I think studying Civ Pro. And I said, or maybe it was Common Law, I don't even remember now. But I said, sure, what's the harm in trying? So I decided to sign up, and that's how I made the team.
Wow. And multiple championships later, here we are.
It worked out.
I guess, part of the moral of that story, at least as far as I'm concerned, is if you're not sure, if you're on the fence, go ahead and try out. And if you think you might even want to do mock trial or ADR, try out for all the teams and see which one makes you the most comfortable. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Sophia?
I think that you are doing yourself a disservice by not trying out, because you're never going to know, if you're going to make the team if you don't try out. Go ahead, come in, go to the interview, and just give it a shot. I never thought I would be a litigator. Definitely never thought I would be a trial lawyer, because I just didn't think I had it in me. But I joined the Moot Court team, and the team helped me build the skills and the confidence I needed to do the job that I currently do. I remember in my interview, Ricky, I don't even know if you remember this, but you opened it up for questions, and the first question I had for you is, okay, I have a kid. I have a 3-year-old, and if I can't find a sitter, can he come to practice with me? Because I was a single mom in law school, and I mean, that on top of everything else, I really didn't think I had the time for this. But, Ricky said, yeah, of course. So my son came with me to every practice. I never paid a babysitter for practice, but it worked out. I found that the team, not only helped me build my skill set, but was an excellent support system and a family that I think that carries on even as we graduate. I still talk to a lot of the alums, even the ones that I didn't go to law school with.
Yeah, and you raised a point there that I'd like to ask you a little bit more about, and that is this idea of litigating versus handling appeals and what Moot Court may or may not do to help you get there. And so, do you think that Moot Court was instrumental in terms of what you're doing now as a trial attorney, as a litigator?
For sure, yes. I think that when people have that belief, they think that because Moot Court is all appellate work, so surely you're only building skill sets in that arena or in that specialty. But when you look at all of these job postings that say Moot Court preferred or Moot Court required, they're doing it more so because Moot Court teaches you advocacy skills, and it teaches you critical thinking skills that really help across the board. For me, I use those skills in the trial arena when I write my motions, when I write responses to things, because I know how to organize and structure my arguments from Moot Court. Mock trial is great. I have a lot of colleagues here that were on the mock trial team at their respective schools. But the unique thing that sets the Moot Court apart is, one, you're still learning all the skills you learn in mock trial. You should learn evidence anyways, because I know you're studying it for the bar, and I know you're studying it for the class. But you really, as a good litigator, need to know how to make an argument, and you need to know how to make an effective, persuasive argument. In trial law, I'm not just trying to convince the judge, I'm trying to convince a jury. The jury doesn't care about my objections as much, right? That's important, but if I can make a compelling argument in front of a jury, my client's going to have a win in court. I learned all of those skills from Moot Court, and I don't regret it.
Now, Sophia, you came into the program as a good advocate. I mean, you were a good advocate from the beginning. But did you feel like you did progress in the program? Did you feel like you became a better advocate?
I do. I would disagree with you that I was a good advocate. I still remember my tryout where I stopped and told you, I think I said sorry to you in the middle of it. But the skill that I didn't really have when I first started was I didn't know how to respond to some of the questions that were being asked, because you're so scared. You don't know what the judge is going to ask you. And so you're afraid you're not prepared for it. And, with Moot Court, I learned you are prepared. You know the answers to the questions. You just have to be cool, calm, and collected, and, read your cases and make sure you're citing to them. And there were these skills that I should have known, and you kind of do know it deep down, but you have to fine tune those skills when you're being a litigator. And I was able to do that through many competitions with you, Ricky.
Yeah, we went through a few, and you won quite a few of them, so that was fun too.
Yeah.
National championships, regional championships. It was quite a run that you had. Did you feel like that the Moot Court experience, obviously you were successful as a law student in other areas as well, but did you feel like the Moot Court experience was important when you started looking for jobs and in trying to open doors for you to get into a position?
Absolutely. Lots of places, we want Moot Court. If you're going to even put your name in the ring, or if it's Moot Court preferred, you've got a better shot. I remember going to my interview, and we talked about Moot Court for a good 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. And, part of it was, my boss was trying to get a feel for me, right? Get a feel for how I can field questions. And I'll be honest, I was using Moot skills even in my interview. They're asking me a question. I'm like, okay, think of your answers. Keep smiling. Nod your head. And just be ready to go. But it definitely helped me land the job. My firm generally doesn't hire first years straight out of law school. So for them to make that exception, I think Moot Court really helped play a part in that. And I recommend it to everybody that asks me about Moot Court.
So I have to ask you, and I don't usually ask this of those that I interview, Sophia, but what are you wearing?
I was told that this was moot morning and pajamas were acceptable. I explained that I was wearing a onesie and I was unsure that this would be appropriate. I was told by someone on this call who might be a male that would be fine.
Well, that narrows it down.
Yeah. So I said, okay. And I assumed that with him saying that, surely him and the other coach on the call were going to also dress down and join me in the pajama wearing, and they did not. So I am here in my Harry Potter onesie answering all of your questions.
About it, Sophia. I'm all about it.
You know, I love the Harry Potter onesie. You know, if I didn't get up so early to get dressed and have to go to work, then I would, well, I don't know if I'd be in a Harry Potter onesie, but I'd be right there with you. So thank you for that. And Sophia, thank you for doing this morning. Thank you for sharing some of your thoughts. Is there anything that you'd like to say in parting, just kind of about the program or about those students that might be trying out? Anything you'd like to say to them?
Yeah, you know, one thing I remember seeing a lot of in law school when I was 3L on the team was people that were interested in trying out would come to me and ask, you know, not just about the time commitment, but, you know, whether or not, you know, first they were concerned about their grades dropping as a result of Moot Court. They were worried about how it would affect them prepping for the bar their 3L year. They were worried that it would be a waste of their time because they wanted to be a transactional attorney. And, you know, the one thing I will say is, first, you will get from this program what you put in. And, you know, I think you have an opportunity to join a nationally recognized team that has been nationally ranked for quite a few years. If you have the opportunity, you try out and you make the team, you should really consider giving it a shot, at least for a year, just to see what you think. You will be amazed at the skill set that you will pick up in that 1 year. And I guarantee you, you will see that transfer into practice no matter, you know, whether you do litigation or if you decide to go the transactional route. Communication is key for everything. And this program is essential for making or producing effective advocates that can go out and do the job.
Well, it's great to see you. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for continuing to be part of the program and all the things that you do to help Mooters every year. So we will see you soon.
Thanks, Sophia.
And
Thank
good morning.
Good morning.